Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to the first of a multi-part mod spotlight series. I'm going to be covering the Universal Electricity mod pack. Now this mod pack adds a bunch of mods from the Universal Electricity API. You guys may have seen in a prior video of mine the ICBM mod spotlight where I showed you guys a bunch of awesome weapons and bombs and ICBM materials that you could use to shoot all these cool explosives and stuff at enemies, and it's a really neat mod, and I will be covering the updates and changes to that. However, I'm going to be separating each of the different mods. There's now about a half a dozen of them in this mod pack that add all kinds of different things to Universal Electricity. So what is Universal Electricity? It is a mod API, basically. It comes with its own very small set of components that you can use for yourself, and I've got most of them in my inventory right here. And it also adds a little bit of world gen. And Universal Electricity is designed to allow people to create mods using this Universal Electricity system, and you can create power systems and create all kinds of blocks and different things that you can do with them. So there's a bunch of mods that have started hooking into Universal Electricity and doing stuff with it. So the basic mod itself doesn't add that much, but I'm going to cover that as the first video, just so you guys have an understanding of where everything's coming from. Then we'll move into some other video mod spotlights, covering some of the other mods that hook into Universal Electricity, like atomic science that adds fission and fusion reactors and all kinds of other crazy stuff. We've got the assembly line mod, we've got the mechanism mod, ICBM, which you guys have seen before, another mod called liquid mechanics, and electric expansion is another one. So there's a bunch of different mods that all hook in with the Universal Electricity API, and we're going to go over most of them in the next couple mod spotlight videos. So what I'm going to do here, like I said, is just show you the basics. It's called Basic Components, and it gives you just the starting point that all these other mods build upon. Alright, so let's get started checking out Universal Electricity, a mod pack currently available on the Feed the Beast launcher. So a good place to start with any mod spotlight are the world gen ores. Now as you can see here, I've got 3 of them right in front of me. This guy should not be strange to anyone. It's called copper ore, and this one here is called tin ore. Copper and tin are your basic world gen, but this one is also a little bit new. It's called platinum ore. Okay, they all have a bunch of different purposes, but your basic gist here is you can smelt them. You can get copper ingots, you can get tin ingots, and you can get platinum ingots. Cool. Now there's a couple other types of material that you can get for yourself. First off, we've got bronze. Bronze dust is pretty easy to make. Combine some copper ingots and a tin ingot and you get some bronze dust. And if you smelt that, you'll get yourself a bronze ingot. And finally, we've got steel dust. This is made by combining charcoal or coal with a piece of iron. Pretty cool. And you can go ahead and smelt that guy into a steel ingot. Nice. And because this uses the Forge Ore Dictionary, the steel ingots here that you can make are compatible with Railcraft steel. So if we flip through here, you'll actually notice that Railcraft is part of the Universal Electricity mod pack. So we've got some steel bore heads and the advanced item loader, some items from Railcraft. Pretty cool. So the steel here works with Railcraft. Nice. That's your basic world gen components. Now let's show a couple of the machines and tools and items that you can play with in Universal Electricity. The first item here is called a coal generator. Now you can see the coal generator requires a bit of bronze and a couple furnaces. You're also going to need a steel plate. These guys come from combining 4 pieces of steel ingot. Not too hard to get. And then you're going to need some copper wiring. Alright guys, because we have a different add-on, this one is called Electric Expansion. It's actually changing the recipe of copper cabling here. So the Electric Expansion is a mod that adds a bunch of different types of wires, and because that's there, you have to use insulated copper wiring to exchange with the copper wire that comes with the basic components. So really not too hard to make if you're using the mod pack. But like I said, if you didn't have Electric Expansion installed, there'd be a separate recipe for that wiring. So let's check out the coal generator. The one last piece you're going to need is a motor. It requires some copper wire and some steel and some iron. Let's go ahead and place it in the world and check out how it works. Coal generator. Not bad. Real easy to use. Just got to throw some coal in there. It's telling you right now whether or not it's generating and the voltage it can create. All you got to do is hook up the wire to the back of this machine. There we go. And we need to send the power somewhere before it's going to allow it to run. So you can see here, if I throw coal in there, nothing's going to happen. It's not got anywhere to run to. What I'm actually going to place down is right here. This guy is called a battery box. And he has the ability to store energy and charge batteries and that kind of cool stuff. So you have to connect the power into the red side. Boom, like that. And as soon as it's connected, you'll see the coal generator turn on. And it has to build up a little bit of internal heat before it can actually start generating power. So right now, it's not generating anything yet, but here it goes. It just kicked on. Cool. So now it's telling you how many watts it's generating. Not bad at all. And it's going to burn through your coal pretty quickly to start getting electricity. And like I said, in the basic components of this mod, there's really not much you can do otherwise to create electricity, but that's why there's a bunch of add-ons. Cool. So the coal generator's running, sending its power down the line, storing it in a battery box. Not bad. And you can also throw batteries into your battery box to charge them up. Cool. So there's a bunch of energy storage going into this little battery here, and you can see it's all getting drained out of the battery box. Not bad at all. And of course you can drain it back. Cool. The battery box here can store 4,000 kilojoules, and so far we've got about close to 100-ish between what's in here left. Yeah, there we go. Almost up to 100. Nice. So we'll let that guy run for just a few minutes here, and then I'll be right back to show you the next item. All right, so the last item to show you guys here is the electric furnace. This guy requires some steel, a basic circuit, and a motor. Now, basic circuits, as you can see, there's a couple different types of circuits here. The recipe for a basic circuit is either bronze or steel plates with some copper wiring and redstone. That'll get you your most basic of circuits. There's an advanced circuit that's used in some of the other mods, and there's also an elite circuit right here. So you can see you need quite a few resources to get the more advanced circuits, but the basic one is pretty easy to get. So we can just run a bit of power out the side of our battery box right here, and then place down in the world this guy. Nice little electric furnace. And you can see it's got another input. The input is colored red, just like the input to this guy was colored red. Nice. Simply place down your wire here, and the internal charge will go ahead and build up. You can see it requires 10 kilowatts of power, and this guy over here is storing quite a bit of energy. Nice. The voltage it can accept, and whether it's got a status of idle, and it can actually also accept a battery to run on. And we can just throw some items in to start smelting it. And the status reports that it is smelting, and it is of course draining power out of our bat box. So you can see this thing isn't gaining as much energy as it was previously. And then once the smelting process has completed, it'll go ahead and stop draining the power, and this thing will start speeding up again in terms of how much it's getting from the coal generator. Cool. The coal generator, like I told you guys, has to build up a bit of heat before it can actually be very efficient. So it took a while to get up to the point where it's producing 10 kilowatts of power, but it's doing that now, so it's doing a pretty good job. Cool. And we've got our tin ingot over here. So the electric furnace has smelted, done its job. Very basic, very simple, but I wanted to introduce you guys to the basic components of universal electricity. And of course, what electrical mod wouldn't be complete without a wrench? The wrench requires some steel and a diamond to make, but it's going to allow you to rotate your machines. So if you've placed down a machine and you want to make sure it's oriented the right way, just give it a good hit with the wrench and it rotates it. Notice that the cabling here will only connect to the proper side of the generator. Cool. Now you guys, like I said, might at this point be saying, wow, there's really not much to this mod. Well, you'd be kind of right in terms of what you can see and do with it. But the Universal Electricity mod, like I said, is an API, so what it's actually doing for you is giving the foundation for a bunch of other mods to start implementing items and electrical power generation and usage. So this is the wrapping up point for the Universal Electricity basic components. But I'm going to get into some of the other mods, like I told you in the Universal Electricity pack, in future videos, and you'll be able to see what all this makes possible. So this, like I said, is an API. It just gets the mod authors for the other mods a nice simple framework that everybody can work within so that everything can work together. So, this is Direwolf20 signing off on the Universal Electricity Mod Spotlight. It's the basic components of the mod that makes all the other Universal Electricity mods possible. Hope you guys enjoyed checking it out, and stay tuned for the next Mod Spotlight, part of the Universal Electricity Mod Pack on the FTB launcher. Alright guys, take it easy!